Hello and welcome to live market analysis using supply and demand. You have myself, Simon Klein. For those of you watching it live, it's August the 11th, 2021, and we're just after 1 p.m. Eastern time. So welcome everybody in the chat area. Just let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, it's great to have everybody here, and I'm going to be sharing some new things today regarding trading. If you've been here before, if you're here for the first time, this may completely change the way you view trading forevermore. I'm also going to share with you right at the beginning here one of my entries in my journal. I've got it sitting in front of me. So just to show you that I was once like you on my trading journey as well. So here's me giving a presentation not so long ago at the New York Traders Expo when we could actually meet in person. And more recently, at the beginning of this year, I was invited to speak in China at the Bogu Investment Forum. That was actually done online also because of the current situation. Now here's a quick disclaimer before we begin. Just bear in mind everything I mention on this presentation is for educational purposes only. You all know there's a high degree of risk involved in all types of trading, and we're not responsible for your trading and investment results. If you're new here, here's a little bit about me. You can read it. I've been trading for quite a number of years now. I started in 2005. TradeSmart is a trading education business, and we focus primarily on teaching you how to read the market professionally and how to run a successful trading business, including how to develop your own trading plan and strategies which fit your personality and lifestyle. So here's our agenda. Why am I always wrong? We're going to look into professional chart reading. You won't find this in any book. I'm going to go over something I've never shared before, price structure and game plan. Then we're going to look into supply and demand, and then we're going to jump into the live market. And then I'll open up for audience questions and answers, and I'll also share with you how to take the next step if this is for you. Now, let me start here by sharing with you an entry from my trading journal, which was right back in 2009. Just to let you know, okay? So again, I haven't shared this. The first time I've shared it in a public forum. I may have shared it sometimes with some of my coaching clients. So this is what I write. This week of trading has been a groundbreaking week for me. Everything is finally falling into place. I've found my niche in the market. My trading plan outlines my 4 main strategies, and I write what they are. My trading plan also outlines a number of trade management policies. I've had only winning trades this week. I've had the knowledge to know what to play, the patience to wait till the market and the stock set up so that the odds are in my favor, the courage to enter the trade when my plan told me to, and finally the discipline to manage the trade according to what is spelled out in my trading plan. The process of redoing my tracking spreadsheet and changing and working on my trading plan have helped solidify my mind how I want to trade the market. I'm now able to only do trades that are in my plan. I can now say that I have made every possible mistake that there is to make in trading. This means that I now know all the possible ways in which you can fail in this business. I've also got so sick of making the same mistakes day in and day out that I can't even bring myself to make those mistakes anymore. I feel that the light has finally been switched on, and I know what I need to do to succeed as a trader and make a living trading. I now finally, after almost 3.5 years of trading, know what the correct process is to trade successfully. I now know that it is best to focus on the process and not the money, and the money will take care of itself. I never had a doubt in my mind from the first day I started trading that I would succeed in becoming a successful trader, a master trader. Now I have the clarity and confidence that I am now going to make a very good living out of this activity we call trading. The learning will never cease as I continue to master myself and the markets. That was my first entry in this trading journal that I'm actually holding in my hand physically. And this was made at the beginning of 2009. Okay, so zoom to today. Lots have happened since then. I started mentoring and helping other traders do the same thing. So let's address this question. Why am I always wrong? So the market looks something like this. And let me just switch this on. And again, can you relate to that story? Can you see yourself? Does it resonate with you? Are you anywhere on that journey yourself? Maybe going through the pain and suffering of becoming a successful trader, the learning process. So again, once you get to the other side, it becomes crystal clear why you had to go through what you had to go through. So this was me as a beginning trader. I started on a professional trading floor, trading US equities. Actually, it was New York Stock Exchange. I was taught to trade the specialist system. And everything I did at the beginning was kind of backwards, like it usually is for most beginners. When I bought, the market went down. When I sold, the market went up. And this was what trading was like for me at the beginning. There were two traders on the floor that were always, I was the counter indicator. Whatever I called out to go long or go short, they would do the opposite. How do I know? Because I used to walk over their, and look over their shoulders and see what positions they were in or had closed out. And I saw they did the opposite of what I was calling out to do. So this is what many beginning traders experience. You may learn about an uptrend. The market's going up. You take your first trade over here, and the market continues to go up. You say, great, the market's moving up. It's in an uptrend. It's above rising moving averages, for example, if you do it that way, or you just look at it and it's going up. So you say, oh, it's an uptrend. The market goes in your favor a bit, and then the market turns against you. It goes down. Stop loss? No, every trade's going to work. You need a stop loss. You've got to be right 100% of the time. That's how you make money as a trader. Wrong. So the market goes against you over here, and you take your first losing trade. This time you're like, oh dear, I've just lost some money. I've got to make it back. So let's double up. I got the direction wrong. It's not going up, it's going down. So let's sell. So the market, you sell again, double the size, and it starts moving in your favor over here. And then all of a sudden the market turns up and you take your second losing trade, this time losing more than what you lost on the first one. And you're like, no, this is not good. I got to make it back. So you jump in again on the buy side. You say, I've got the direction wrong. So the market goes a bit in your favor, and then it turns around and you take your third losing trade. You're like, oh my. So now you start to get a bit cleverer. You're like, okay, I'm buying up here. I'm selling down here. I learned something about support and resistance, like prices turn in areas, join the peaks and the troughs. Okay, let's join them. Okay, let's put a line here and a line there. So instead of buying up here, I should be selling. So the market comes up here and you go all out. You go and you're going to make everything back. You sell. And then what happens? The market doesn't go down. It goes up, and you take your fourth losing trade and you just wipe your account out, or maybe you got a margin call and you're like, oh dear, you throw your arms up in the air and you're like, oh, trading's not as easy as I thought it would be. It looks very easy at the beginning. And ultimately, when you get back to that simplicity, after going through the learning curve, it actually is pretty simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. But you have to go through that learning curve. It's like the rite of passage to become a successful trader. You have to go down that path. It's like the rite of passage to become a successful athlete. You have to go down the path. You have to put in the work, do what you need to do, and know what you need to do. And most often than not, have a coach to help you get the best out of yourself. So what's going on here? So you need to learn about something called supply and demand. And it's not as simple as, oh, price turns and therefore this is supply, so why did it break here? So you need to understand when it's likely to break and when it's likely to turn over here. So let's jump into successful or professional chart reading. Now again, you're not going to find this in any book. You may find parts of it, but you won't find it put together like this. And I believe, before we go in, if you look at what I've got written down here, the charts will teach you all you need to know once you have a framework for reading them. No more need for gurus, no more need for signal services, no more need for relying on anyone else besides yourself. Okay? You need to be the one making decisions in the market, and you need to have conviction and courage and confidence in your decision-making process. By relying on someone else, that's never going to happen. So you need to rely on yourself. Every single one of my traders that I've developed and trained over the years, you'll see everyone trades differently. They've found their own trading style, their own markets, their own way of trading that fits their personality and lifestyle. And they developed it themselves. It wasn't given to them on a plate. Because guess what? If you go to the tailor, you can get a tailor-made suit. You can become the tailor and make your own suits. But if you go to pick one off the shelf, it may not fit you. And certainly your friend's suit might not fit you. Just because it fits them doesn't mean it fits you. Just because they can do it doesn't mean you can do exactly what they're doing. So you need to find a way that works for you. So if you build it yourself, you know how it works. You can trust it and rely on it. So let's start with learning how to read the market. So if you learn by reading price action, which is what I'm going to show you here, no indicators needed. This works in any market on any time frame as long as you can chart it using Japanese candlesticks. So the first thing you need to know is pivot analysis. That's our view on reading the trend. Okay, so you need to know when a trend begins and ends. And I'm going to share with you how you can actually do that training towards the end and actually come and join our live trading room for a whole month at no cost. You need to understand supply and demand. That's where markets move from and to. And you need to understand when it's likely to break supply or demand as well, so that you don't get caught on the wrong side of the market. You need to understand something called price direction. Which direction is price currently moving in? Now this is not, you can't learn this anywhere else. You can literally take everything you know about Japanese candlesticks, and I've gone through every single formation that tells you buy, sell, replace it with this one thing, understand direction, is it up or down? And you can throw everything away. You don't need anything else besides this. You don't need to learn about dark cloud covers or, reversal patterns. All you need to know is price change direction from down to up or from up to down. That's it. That's all the Japanese candlesticks basically show you. So just replace it with this one analysis. Keep it simple. Simple's good. When you travel, you want to travel light. You don't want to lug too much luggage around with you. It's much easier to travel when you have exactly what you need and nothing more. And again, you need to understand how to do this on multiple time frames. So I'm going to share with you an example soon. I'm going to also show you how to actually take this into the live market and understand what's going on right now. So again, the charts will teach you all you need to know once you have a framework for reading them. Much like learning a musical instrument. Again, you have to learn how to read music first. When my son learned how to play piano, he went to music. He was in music school beforehand. He learned how to read music. And then he learned how to play piano. He learned about rhythm. He learned about everything you need to know about music. And then he learned to play piano on a foundation of understanding music. Not just like I learned to play piano when I was a kid. I learned to play Chopsticks or one of those other songs. The Entertainer. Yeah, I could play one song on the piano. I thought I was, a musician. But no, I wasn't. I just knew how to play one song and that was it. Very limiting. If you learn how to play music and you learn how to read music, you can play anything you want. Whatever fits your personality. Music that you like. So let's go back to basics. This is a hammer and a shooting star. Okay, these are candlestick kind of names. Okay, now generally, most people, let me ask you a question. This candlestick on the right, is this a bullish or bearish candlestick? You can type it in the chat area. I'm the only one that can see that at the moment because we privatized it. So just let me know, is that bullish or bearish? Okay, bullish or bearish. Now, most people think this is a bearish candlestick. Now, when you start to learn how to trade from a superficial level, or you start to learn how to analyze the charts on a superficial level, you say, well, this one's bullish and this one's bearish. So let's have a look at the charts. Here's price moving up, and then you see a candlestick like this, and you think, well, this is bearish, isn't it? Because, it's after a move up in price, I see a candlestick like this, then it's going to go down. Now, this is actually a trade we took in our trading room, and I explained it. Why this is actually not bearish. But let's see what happens. The market continues to move higher. So the question is, what is this candle? Is this maybe a bullish candlestick? Well, in this context, yes, this is a bullish candlestick. Most people, when they see this, they think market's going down. But this is a trade we took in the trading room, and guess what? The market went up. Now let's go back to our understanding of price action here from the three things that we looked at. And we're only looking at one time frame now. In terms of trend, pivot analysis, this is an upward moving market. We have a higher low and higher high. So the market's moving up. Point to the buy side. Let's look at price direction. Well, price direction's up here as well, without going into the details of how you do that. Price direction's up, so it's another reason why you want to be on the buy side. Now, in terms of supply and demand, well, this was supply. We just broke above supply here. The next supply level's there. The market consolidated sideways because there are people selling here. But the buy side's going to win, as you can see here, till the next supply level, pull back, to the next supply level, pull back. We're in an upward moving market. This is just a sideways consolidation. Notice how the zones, this is supply, this was supply, this went through supply, so there's no more supply. So no more supply, we're above supply with the next supply zone up here. In an upward moving market in terms of price direction and trend, what do you want to do? You want to buy. So this is a trade we took in the trading room, we bought. Now, let me share with you now something for the first time. Now, this is something that you can actually take away and start looking at. Now, this is very interesting because this is gold going back to 2018. Okay, and this is when we started to get interested in gold on the bigger time frames down here, buying down at this level. And this was just a way to get in on a pullback. Now, if you look over here, I put market reversal by the pullback. This is what we call price structure. Whenever you see a big bar like this, and you see a pullback within the bar, and you're in a bullish market, it's usually a buy. So this is a place where you can buy over here or buy here. You can see the pullback. Now I'm going to show you gold, and I'm going to show you what happened later to gold. So this is the beginning of the move to the upside. Okay, you can see this here. Now let's go to gold present day, and just remember where we are here. Go back to 2018. Okay, you see this is in 2018. And you see the gold came down to this level. Now let's go to the live market. Currently, and let's just make this is where we were buying, come down to 2018. You see this is here, and look what gold did since then. See this move? So we were buying down here. This is where we started to get interested in gold in this demand area. Now go back and look here. Look at the monthly chart. Look, you see there's 3 bars here. Now go back and look at the live market just to compare. That's those 3 bars. See the 3 bars? That's where we were interested in buying gold. Okay, and you can see where we went from there. Now let's get back here. So to get into the trade, we want to buy, yeah? So we get in when we see, you see the market's falling here. It's a pullback. Market's falling. When you see a big bar, you can buy a pullback into it in the right context. Now let me show you some other thing about a game plan. How do you plan a trade? Okay, so this is the next step. You have to understand how to recognize price structure. This is price structure in gold. This was already coming from demand areas. I'm going to share with you a bit about supply and demand, and then we'll go into the live market a bit more. But how do you get on board? Well, this is how you get on board, and this is how you get on board and manage risk. Price never came down here again, and it hasn't been down here for a few years. This was a low before the big move to the upside, and we get these moves in our trading room. We call these moves out well ahead of time, so you can see, and this is already once it's undergoing, how to get in for the next move up. Now let me show you the next thing, game planning. Now this is how we go through game plan. I'm going through a little bit about trend here, even though I haven't, I'm going to share with you how to actually get on that training. But again, notice on the monthly chart, we've moved up now. This is the move up to the top of the base. You see there's a base here. Okay? So let's see what happens here. Here's how you build a game plan once you understand how to read the market. I know I'm in supply. Notice what I write here, weak supply. Bear that in mind, because later on this is very, very important. This level is extremely important because this is, look what I wrote, weak supply. So I know this move down, I'm going to look for a buy here and take it higher. But when I'm trading intraday, I'm looking for what's going to happen next. What's the odds of what's going to happen next? So I look at the weekly chart and I see this move down put in a lower low. This is what I write, lower low. So I'm expecting a lower high afterwards, this move up to get sold. On this time frame, I've got a higher high and a higher low. So I'm expecting it to go higher. Now, which time frame is going to win? That's the question. So we look at this and we start planning. what we're going to do, and then we look and we see what's happening on the lower time frames to confirm which way price is going. Okay, so that's how you build a game plan. You have an idea, you have to read the market first. It's not just about trading a strategy. The strategy is how you get into the scenario the market's showing. For example, learning how to to drive a car, as the analogy, without understanding how to read the road, how to read traffic on the road or road signs or road conditions, is very dangerous. So too, learning how to trade without understanding how to read a market is pretty dangerous, because just taking a strategy when it sets up is not going to make you money over time, because you need to know how to do it in the right context. That's understanding how to read the market. And that's, I believe, one of the things that many people are missing with their trading. They're missing market context. They're missing understanding what's going on. So remember what I said here, weak supply. So I remember in our trading room, this was in 2019, we said, this is going to come back, pull back from this area, and we're going to look for it to hold a higher low in the base. And then we're going to look to play it to break above the base, because it's already been identified as weak supply. Let's go and have a look at what the market did. Back to gold. This is the top of the base, what we just talked about. Here's the move down. So the market did go down, but it didn't go all the way down. It stopped here, turned, and broke above the top of the base. Again, this is planned ahead of time. This was already mentioned as weak supply, so I don't expect it to go all the way down. So if I'm taking a trade expecting it all the way to go down, it's not gonna work, and I'll get stopped out. If I put my stop there and I wait for it to go all the way down, not gonna happen. If I know ahead of time that the odds here are it's not gonna go all the way down, then I can take a small trade on the short side. And again, it's not such a small move intraday. We had 3 months of down, yeah? And then we're looking for a turn and then playing it to break above the base, knowing when to do that and how to do that. And again, I've been working on a training called All About the Base, which will take you through every single type of base that there is and how to trade it. Understanding when the base is going to shake out, fake out, which way it's going to break before, how to play it, how to trade it. Every time, going through every single possible base that you can possibly think of. And again, I haven't released it yet, but I'm in the process. I've been working on it for over 6 years now. So here you see the market moving to the upside. And again, going back to what we originally had, by identifying weak supply, remember what we saw, how to know when it's going to break, and then understanding this is a pullback. Yes, it did. It put in a lower high and came down, and it did come down. And we had another couple of months down before the market turned and pushed to the upside and broke above. So again, this is how you plan ahead of time. Okay, let's go into a little bit about supply and demand. So what is supply and demand, and why is it so important? Well, prices move higher when there's more demand than supply. Fact. Prices move lower when there's more supply than demand. So more demand than supply, we go up. More supply than demand, we go down. And prices move sideways when there's an equilibrium between supply and demand. Now again, wouldn't it be a good idea to know when a market is likely to go sideways before it does, so that you can trade accordingly when you recognize the signs? And again, that's going to be part of what I'll share in All About the Base. How to know when a market's going to base beforehand. It's no good knowing afterwards, oh, this is basing. Great, it's a base now. You want to know before what the odds are that price action is going to turn into a base, so you can adjust the way you trade accordingly. You need to understand that maybe it's going to be raining outside, so you have to adjust how you drive your car. Or there's going to be snow. You might put snow tires on or something like that if you think ahead. Think ahead. Learn to see the signs. You look up. There's a forecast for snow. Think ahead. You're not going to get caught on the highway somewhere in the snow, are you? No. You've got to think ahead, plan ahead, understand when you take a journey where you're going from and to and what may happen. Understand how to read the conditions on the road and with the weather. Same with trading. Understand how to read a market so you understand when you're getting into a trade, what is the environment in which you're trading in? What are the conditions? Is the market trending up, trending down? Is it going to break to the upside, break to the downside, or in a sideways choppy market? It's different trading in different market conditions, much the same as driving in different conditions on the road. It's different. You don't drive the same on the Autobahn in Germany as you do in a residential area. So what moves the markets? Well, prices move higher when there's more demand than supply. Fact. Prices move lower when there's more supply than demand. So more demand than supply, we go up. More supply than demand, we go down. And prices move sideways when there's an equilibrium between supply and demand. And again, wouldn't it be a good idea to know when a market is likely to go sideways before it does, so that you can trade accordingly when you recognize the signs? And again, that's going to be part of what I'll share in All About the Base. So here you see the market moving to the upside. And again, going back to what we originally had, by identifying weak supply, remember what we saw, how to know when it's going to base beforehand. It's no good knowing afterwards, oh, this is basing. Great, it's a base now. You want to know before what the odds are that price action is going to turn into a base, so you can adjust the way you trade accordingly. You need to understand that maybe it's going to be raining outside, so you have to adjust how you drive your car. There's going to be snow. You might p supply and demand. It's the equation between supply and demand, the supply-demand equation. And guess what? Do you know what's good about this? Because when I first learned how to trade, I was trading the specialist system on the New York Stock Exchange. I was learning how to spot what the specialist was doing by watching the time and sales and the prints going off on the time and sales, and watching the level 2 and the open book, which was a level 2 of the specialist. And I was taught how to spot what the specialist was doing based on what I was seeing happening, certain patterns in price, without going into details. But what happened was, the New York Stock Exchange, instead of being run by human beings, went and became part computer, part human. The specialist job was done partly by a computer now, and the system that I was taught to trade no longer worked. So it was back to the drawing board. So wouldn't it be a good idea to base your trading on something that's timeless? And guess what? Supply and demand will never change. If you base your trading on sound ideas that are timeless, you'll never have to learn something else. You can just master this and get better and better at this as time goes on, and adapt to changing market conditions, because the markets are pretty much the same, but they're not exactly the same. So you'll be sensitive, once you know how to read price action and supply and demand, to what's happening in the market. As I say, keeping a finger on the pulse of the market. This is a market-based approach, so that you can adjust the way you trade accordingly, as opposed to a strategy-based approach where you're not aware of what's going on in the market because you're too focused on the driving of the car as opposed to where you're driving or the conditions you're driving in. Remember when you first learned to drive? You had to look down, to make sure that your foot hit the pedal and that your hand was on the gear shift, and you were looking in the right mirrors at the right time. There's a lot of work to do. Imagine trying to do that for the first time and drive in real road conditions, and you're trying to learn how to drive the car as well. Not good. If you don't focus on the road conditions and you're trying to, you need to do both. Yeah. So same thing with trading. So once you know that supply and demand is key to understanding price movement in any market, then your job is to identify supply and demand on the chart. So how do you do that? So I'm going to share with you in the live market how to start doing that. Again, I can't go through everything because it will take me about probably 6 to 10 hours. But basically, this is what the market looks like. Market's going down, and then we get a turn to the upside. So you can say something about this area. Remember, it's not one particular price point, it's a zone, okay? Professional traders, especially market makers, buy and sell in areas in the market. Institutional traders buy and sell in areas. The clients tell them, I want you to buy me between this and this price. And they say, I want you to buy me at this price. I'll say between here and here, and sell me between here and here. That's what sets up supply and demand zones. And supply up here where the price is, where the market turned to the downside. So your job as a trader is to identify those high probability turning points in the market. And I'm going to show you the market today, exactly what we did. So again, the caveat is it's recommended that you do go through the complete trading program that we have, but it depends on how you learn. You can come and join our live trading room and pick it up just by watching us do it, and then apply it to yourself, to your own trading. The process. Learn the process, apply the process to your own trading, your own markets. You don't even have to trade the same markets as I do. The process is the same. This works in every market. It doesn't matter what instruments you're trading. I have people that are trading options, I have people trading futures, stocks, Forex, whatever you want. It makes no difference. In order to trade all these instruments, you need to know how to read. If you're a discretionary kind of technical trader, you need to understand how to read the charts. If you're a fundamental trader, then it's a little different, but understanding technicals as well will help you time your entries better and manage risk. So what I'm going to do now is reveal to you how to start doing this. And we're going to look into the live market. You guys ready? Just type a yes in the chat area if you're ready. And then we'll jump into the live market. So this is where we jump into the live market. I'm going to share with you how to put this into action as the market's playing out right now. And I'll show you also a game plan of one of the currency pairs I'm watching right now. So let's jump in. Okay, so let's actually start with the euro. So today, the euro is down in demand. Now, why is this demand? We can see on multiple time frames here, but let's just focus here on the daily chart. You can see we're down in a level. We do a left. This is an area where price moved all the way up. So this is what we call demand. Now watch what's happening today. What's the market doing? It's moving up. So let's go down the time frame now. Let's go down to an hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, look what happened here. The market came down here, actually changed direction to the upside here, and moved up initially to this area of supply. Now there's a bunch of different levels here. There's a level here, a level here. I just put the first level, and you can see we came right up. We went slightly higher because we've got another level sitting here. So what I can do now, since we've gone above there, I can take this level up. Let's find the next supply level of a price, and you'll find it is over here. So that's our next potential target area if the market continues to go to the upside. Okay, and we've got to deal with, I think we're at the top of this bar. Let me just check. The high here is 17529, 1753. We've gone above. So the next level up is here. That's the next supply level above price. So that's probably where price is going next. Okay, unless the trend changes or something like that. So you can see price moved up from demand and it's on its way. We're bouncing off different levels on the way up to the next level of supply. Now, whether this is going to hold this area or not, it may go up, come back down and break, which may happen. And that's based on the understanding of what's going here on the monthly chart. But anyway, let's jump into another couple of markets there. And you'll see today, this was another trade on the pound. Now the pound's pretty bullish at the moment, and I'm expecting this, and you can see we had some of our traders in the room take trades. We started getting interested over here on the buy side around the 1.2 area, 1.2 in this zone to buy, and here, and now again here. And we were looking down here for targets of 1.3, 1.4, and ultimately 1.5, which may happen this year. We may get at, this is pre-Brexit. This is supply. This is what happened on Brexit. The market pushed up and came all the way down. Brexit's finished now. It's all over. Done with that. No one's going to be talking about Brexit anymore. And you can see the price has gone almost back to where we were beforehand, or pretty much. So how do we understand what's going on here? So if you can see on the weekly chart what happened, where did price come down to? Well, this is an area of demand. This is an area of supply. Now if we go out and have a look at this, you can see this is a big look at the size of these bars. When you got like 3 solid bars down, that's marking supply. This caused the market to go all the way down here. So what happens when the market hit this area? We don't want to be on the buy side. Remember, there was a big green bar here initially. Market came down and again. But now we came down, chopped around here, we came down to this demand area, and now we're starting to move up again. So today, if you understand how to read price direction, understand supply and demand, we're pulling back here close to demand levels, and the market turned. Hit this supply area, notice what happened, pulled back, and we still haven't gone above yet. This was supply that was formed on Monday. And you can see we hit this area once, twice, 3 times, and we've traded up to higher levels of this area. So what we can do now, since we have, what I like to do is remove this and put this at the top. Let's do this at the top of the bar light. That's just different ways of drawing it. So I can actually see clearly this is the last line of defense on the sell side. If we break that, we're going to the next level up. And you can see that also here on the 4-hour chart. Let's go to a topical one. Let's look at Bitcoin. And then I'll show you another game plan here. So Bitcoin, interesting, the market based, this is demand. You see here, the market based here, and you can see in this level. And if we open up the daily chart, this is actually pretty bullish now. It looks like the market's on its way back up again. But we're just dealing with supply here. This is a demand level that may become supply. And you can see how we came down from this level. This is demand. And we broke this level above here. So we pull back, becomes demand again. And we break above the base, knowing when we're going to do that. And we said this in our trading, if we pull back and hold, we're going to break. And we did. And now we're in this level. We may get a pullback, but the pullback's buyable. And if it breaks this level and we go up, this is the next level. Break here, next level. and maybe back to the highs. If anything fails on the way, then we'll reassess. So we read what's happening right now in the market based on supply and demand. You see, this was demand. This was marked out way back then over here. Look where markets stopped dead and stopped going down. We've got a level here. If it breaks this, this is the next level. Breaks this level, this is the next level. And these are levels that we took on the buy side on the way up as well. Okay, let's move over. Let's actually go over a game plan now. A trade that actually hasn't, I mean, it's setting up, it's an idea. I want to share with you how to actually take what's going on in the market with what's happening now. It hasn't played out yet, okay? So let's go through that right now. Okay, I call this scenario planning. I'm going to show you a picture of what here we go. Let's pull this over, of the market and how I read it. Okay, so I'm seeing on the euro yen, this is a euro yen right now, okay? I took this picture earlier on today, okay? You can see over here, this market's transitioned from down to up, okay? Here we have a pullback, we went higher. Here we have a pullback. The question is, are we going to go higher here? Okay? We went above supply, pullback. That means the next time we could go up to this level, 135. Okay? Look where we are on the weekly chart. The question is, and I put COT is change of trend. I will know at the end of this week whether this trend is going to change. This is going down at the moment. If it changes, it means there may be a sign that we're going up here. And it's not a bad level to buy. Now, if we look on the daily charts, the same thing. We have a move down that put in a higher low here. That's what I've got. We've got higher low and direction is up. So that means price is likely to go higher. So you can see these are potential entry areas and you can put your stop below this. And if you look at the reward to risk, it's around 15 to 1 if you take it up. It's a longer term trade up to, if it turns here and continues to go higher. You don't have to get in here. This is just the beginning of when you know that maybe this is the start of a move up. Now let's go to the live market now with that. Okay, let's go to the live market. Let's go to the euro yen. Okay, so you can see what's actually happening here. Okay, I took the picture earlier over here. The market came back down. I've got demand here. The market's is holding this area, but it's still promising that we could move up here. We may pull back from here. But I'll know, and again, this is planning ahead of time how the market could play out. I don't know if it's going to do that, but it's starting to look like a possibility. This is how you need to plan your trades. You need to have an idea of what the market is likely to do based on what it's doing now, based on the probabilities, and then have a trading strategy so thereby you can get into the market and manage risk and know where your entry, where your stop is, where your target is. You also have to know where to put your stops as well. Now, thank you, those of you who filled out the survey. I want to go through with you some of your biggest trading challenges. This is what people have actually pull it over. This is just some of these are the questions that people filled in. So I just pulled out the first lot. And again, I've hidden the column so you don't know who it is. And I wouldn't think it'd be fair to share your names. So what's your biggest trading challenge? Having a consistent trading plan. Well, there you go. No, you've got to be consistent. Knowing when to buy and sell. I don't know what that is. Need computer plan. Okay. Patience, understanding when not to trade. Isn't that good? Patience. When you come and join our trading, you'll see we're patient. We wait for the market to set up and then we trade. If you trade on the market's terms and conditions, you're going to lose. If you let the market come to you on your terms and conditions and you have a positive expectancy and an edge, then you'll win. Consistency. People have problems with consistency. Identifying breakout opportunities. Someone who's trading breakouts, you need to know what that looks like before it breaks out. Market timing, how to get in there. How many times have you got into a trade and it moves against you and then it goes in your favor and it stops you out because you didn't time it right? If you would have waited a little bit longer for a better entry, you would have got in without being stopped out. Finding where the market will turn. These are people's challenges. And again, once you have a framework for reading the market, you've solved it. You have to obviously become, it's not going to happen overnight. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not you're going to go through the training and boom, you're going to magically be a market wizard. No, you're going to have to put in the work and see for yourself how it works for you by making mistakes and learning from them and becoming better and better. But not having a framework in which you can develop yourself as a trader, you're going to go round and round in circles for many years. And believe me, I've seen many people. I work with a lot of people that have been trading 20, 30, 40 years and they haven't got to that level of consistency yet. It's very frustrating for them and they're almost there. They're almost there. But they never quite get there until they finally put this all into place in the right way and then boom, they achieve their goals. Risk management, very important. This is all part of what you need to learn. It's not one of these things alone is going to make you a successful trader. You need all of these things. Making consistent profits. That's not going to happen if you don't know how to read the market and you don't have an edge and you don't have the probabilities in your favor and you don't know how to manage risk. Consistency, again, the same reason. If you don't know how to read the market, you don't have a strategy that works for you, that fits your personality, it's not going to work. You're not going to be consistent. You won't be able to pull it off. It might work for someone else. It may be a successful strategy, but it won't work for you. When to apply a stop loss, where to put a stop loss. Wouldn't that be a good idea to know? Again, once you know how to read a market, you'll know where to put a stop loss. A stop loss is placed in an area where if the original trading idea is no longer valid, you get out. Stop loss has got nothing to do with managing risk. Position sizing is how we manage risk. I'll give you a proof of that. Imagine you put your stop loss in the wrong place. Yeah? And the market stops you out and then goes on to the target without you. What did that stop loss do? The stop loss caused you to lose money. It didn't stop you losing money. It caused you to lose money because if you would have put it in the right place, you would have made money on the trade. Does that make sense? So the stop loss isn't there to stop you losing money. It's there to get you out of a trade that's no longer valid. And obviously you will lose money when you do that. But again, you want to limit your risk by position sizing correctly. Again, you need to know how to do that. You need to learn. There's a lot of things you need to learn. It all has to come together. Making the time. Again, you have to know making the time. So you have to know what markets to trade. I have people that work full time and they trade half an hour a day and they make more money in their trading half an hour a day than they do in their day job. But they keep their day job because they don't want to put the pressure on themselves to make a living out of trading, even though they make more. So it's a nice sweet spot there for them. Again, there's many markets in the world that you can trade. You can find one that fits into your lifestyle. Pulling the trigger. Well, again, if you don't know what you're doing, it's scary to pull the trigger. How can you do it? If you have confidence in what you're doing, you want to pull the trigger. Yeah? And the strategy to use. People don't know what strategy to use. Again, if you're going to work with me, you'll develop your own strategy. And then it'll be yours. And you'll know how to use it. Because you developed it. And here's someone, this is it. Everything. What's my biggest challenge? Everything. Like throw your hands in the air. I don't know. So again, there's a way to learn how to do this like everything else. Yeah, you have to not just focus on the strategy. You have to focus on the market. You have to focus on risk management, trade management, money management. Everything that you need to learn. You need to learn it all. But you need to make sure it applies to you. Okay, I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, let me share with you a trader success story. Here's Jane. She came to me at the beginning, like 3 years ago. Was that 2018? Beginning of 2018. And, you know, it's a very interesting story. You'll get to meet Jane in our trading community if you join. And she's regular in our trading room as well. She went to beginner to consistent profits. You know anything about trading? Not very much before she met me. And everything she knows about trading, she learned from me and a few other places as well. And she made it her own. She got to consistent profits in 3 months. 3 years later, still very consistent, very profitable. This is what she says about the training. All I can say to anyone who wants to consistently profit, just do it. That training turned my whole trading around. From that day on, my trading has been so consistent, it is really mind-blowing. Once you understand the levels and can read the trend, you will beat the market every single day. However, the key is follow the pivot analysis. Use the demand and supply levels and adapt it to your own trading style. Be very disciplined, don't be greedy. Stop when you've made your daily profit and you will turn losing trades into winning consistently day in, day out. Simon's training can be adapted to any market. I mainly trade the Nasdaq futures, oil. I use my own strategy based on Simon's education. I found the best thing was knowing what you are doing gives you confidence in your trades and the fear of losing was gone. Trading had become a lifestyle. No longer a binary gamble or nervous hope drop. Believe me, it's the best and only training to succeed with. Now remember, the best investment you can make in life is in yourself. As Jim Rohn said, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. But let your knowledge lead to action. Don't just listen to this presentation and go away and like, oh, it's another interesting one. Put something that you learn, take one thing and try and do it yourself. Put it into practice. Go through the training that I'm going to share with you how to do it. It's not very long. It'll take you an hour and a half to learn how to read the trend and immediately put it into practice. Jane did this. You went through that training, no joke, 50 times. You can ask her yourself when you come and join our trading community. how many times she went through. And she still is going through the training now. She goes and watches, listens to it again, because there's certain things you don't pick up because you're growing as a person. You didn't hear what you needed to hear at that moment in time until you're ready for it. And then you do, you have that aha moment. Things start to click into place. You become a better trader. You never stop learning. I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. I'm still improving. I still make mistakes, just like all of you. But I make fewer mistakes than I used to. And I'm aware of them. That's the key. Okay? We're human beings, but we can really master ourselves. But we have to work on ourselves. So now you've seen a simple and powerful approach to reading the market. Is it okay if I show you an offer that I put together to help you know exactly what you need to do to achieve mastery of reading the trend? So take it a step further, learn how to read the trend using pivot analysis. So what are the benefits of knowing how to read the trend? The trend is your friend until the bend in the end. So trade in the direction of the trend. Yeah, you'll know exactly when a trend begins. And again, this is how we picked every single market top and bottom. Before it happens, the markets last year in March, when the market crashed, the stock markets, exactly where it was going from and to. When it started going down, we called it out. When it ended, we said start watching to buy again, and it's going to most likely break to new highs. Exactly that is what happened. And again, there's recordings of all of these ahead of time. Know when a trend ends. Make sure you're never fighting the trend. I make sure on whatever time frame I'm entering, most of the time that I'm not fighting the trend. I'll wait for the trend to end and then I enter. At least I'm not fighting the trend. I've got the trend at least not against me. Make sure you're on the right side of the market, and it'll help you develop a profitable trading strategy. If you haven't got one yet, this is going to help. Or enhance an existing trading strategy, make it better. So you can join my How to Read the Trend training session and trading room. And this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to identify the current trend of the market, to analyze the trend in multiple time frames, exactly when a trend begins, exactly when a trend ends, and how this knowledge will dramatically affect your bottom line. And you'll be able to watch us analyze and trade the live markets in real time. Okay, exactly as they're happening. Now let me just share with you this actually. I got this as an email I just got from one of my traders, and I just want to point your attention to part of it. During your weekly and daily analysis, you consistently identify, and again, I've just hidden his name so you can't see it, and you can see it's an email thing. Hope things are going well. I continue to get value from your weekly and daily sessions, and your trading materials help me get back on track after I had a significant drawdown back in February. During your weekly and daily analysis, you consistently identify key levels in which you have confidence that prices may turn, which trade, whatever. Okay, let's go down here. For example, you have been pretty confident that oil will drop back down to the 719 pivot low, which occurred today. Let's go back and quickly look at the market on oil. We called the trade here to go back down to this level. Well, that's where it went. Look at where we have our line. Look where we have our level. This is demand. Where is price going from here? It's going back up again. Where did it go from here? Down to this level. This is the level that we were talking about. Now, look what he says. It seems that last week's rally had broken the downtrend on the 1 and 4 hour and reversed and soon hit the 70.22.5 supply level. I'm considering long here. Okay, he's considering long here. Look what happened. Now let's go down here. You did it with gold last week. Now this is a gold trade. Let's go back to gold from last week. This is a trade I took on the long side, and I said if it doesn't break above here, look what happened. So you did it with gold last week on both setting your target exit and identifying the key pivot that price would rally from, and if it failed to hold, could potentially reverse, which ended up doing a major fashion, dropping 150 points. It's $150 down from the 1830 level back to 1678 down here. So understand, knowing this ahead of time so you can see it, and guess what? And then go and see it happen for real and like, oh, this is uncanny. How does this happen? We're just reading the market. We're reading what's happening. We don't say, oh, it's going down. We say, if it fails to hold this level, then it's going to break and go down to the next level, if you see what I mean. So here's what people are saying. Francesco, when I first watched How to Read the Trend, module. I must admit that I did not appreciate the power of pivots and their interrelationship with supply and demand. Honestly, I thought it was more of a good education module for beginners, talking about what a candle is. And of course, I was smart enough to be able to read the trend already. Now, after having been a few days in the live trading room and seeing some pretty uncanny results, well, something clicked. I decided to rewatch the first education module, which is how to read the trend. Now I can see that it is really a lot more powerful than it first appeared. And it's quite deep. Sometimes we don't see what's right in front of our noses, as the old saying goes. And I would say now that I know things about reading the trend that I did not have a clue about before doing your first module. The first thing I'm thinking is, why didn't I do this 25 years ago when I first started? I'm now a successful trader. Johan, as a new trader, I jumped from one strategy to another, always looking for the magic sauce. Can you relate? I literally spent thousands of hours in various forums, blew up numerous accounts and bought tons of online courses, and after a while I realized that most of this material was produced by people like myself, wannabes, without experience who want to survive while learning how to trade for real. What struck me when I came across Simon's material was his true understanding of price action. He managed to condense all of this vague and ambiguous information to a few clear and fundamental set of rules and principles. I have to date probably seen his material a dozen times, and I always discover new details that are key in my now profitable trading plan. When people ask me for advice, I often say that Simon and TradeSmartForex.com offers everything you need. Nothing more, nothing less, and I'm sure that his genuine interest in you as a trader will enable you to reach your goal far more quickly than most other alternatives. Tom, I really want to say that what you teach in How to Read the Trend training course is brilliant. Before that, I'd picked up bits and pieces from different traders, but it was never joined up. Your course brought it all together in a very structured and algorithmic way. No guessing needed. The facts jump off the chart. You are a mastermind. Yeah, the charts speak to you once you know how to listen to the language. Once you listen to the language, you understand, you open your ears, you listen, you understand what the market's doing. Matt, the trading room is very helpful in understanding how to go through the process. I've been trading for 11 years and I've not seen anything like what you do. Love how simple it is. I mainly trade options with trades that last 30 to 60 days. I've been looking for something I could use to day trade for 2 years now. I want to round out what I'm doing with another source of profits. I've not been able to find anything I could execute consistently. I'm just paper trading with your system. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now and I've had far better results than anything I've ever tried. Finally, Marcus. Simon's probably one of the best coaches out there with a heartfelt passion for coaching and a real understanding of how the market works. He helps you view everything in a new way. The way he teaches is also really good, and he goes through it until you understand. I can honestly say that I've gotten more out of this training than I expected. So again, this is what you get in the training. Okay? And again, if this is for you, jump on it. It's a wonderful opportunity to finally get your trading in order, to finally get traction, to finally get the results that you're after. I can't promise that. But if you put in the work, you'll see this works. And you can see how this can work for you. So it's basically an hour and a half. That's it. Again, you don't want to spend, and I see people, advertising courses or whatever, thousands of hours. You're not going to sit down and watch thousands of hours of training. You want to watch something and put it into practice immediately. Sit down. It won't take you long. Instead of watching a Netflix movie or, series, sit down and spend an hour and a half on yourself. And then go to the charts and start putting it into practice immediately and start seeing results. Start seeing your understanding of this improve and start to see the charts for what they are. They will start to open up for you. Magic will happen. And you'll start to see the charts like you've never seen them before. And you'll wonder why I never looked at them like this before. You'll start to see things that other people don't see. It's on demand. You can watch it as many times as you want. And again, I do encourage you, watch it many times. You'll pick up new things as you grow as a person, grow as a trader. You can get personal access to me. You can ask me any questions you want. But this is the key. You're going to get 1 month access to the live trading room. That's usually $497 a month. And you get also access to our online trading community. It's 24/7 via our Discord server. And this is what it looks like. So you can see people sharing ideas. We have our best trade, worst trade. So people share the best trade and worst trade of the week. We've got we've changed now. We have a premium channel for people in part of the trading room. You can join this anyway, but you will only get access to the premium channels if you're part of the trading room or part of the program. and you can get trading ideas, you can get help from other people, and so on. So here's the offer. So the regular price is $894. Deadline's Friday, August the 13th. Okay, I want to take, a group of serious people in and help you to become a successful trader. And it's nice when we get a group of people together. There's a nice group atmosphere. Everyone's helping everyone. It's a wonderful thing to be part of a group. So if you join now, you're part of a new group of people coming in. And we also have other groups of people that join before you that can help you as well. And you're going to receive $497 off. So it's basically today, $397. You're basically getting the trading room for 1 month for free. Okay, so I'm going to show you the checkout process, and I'm also show you how you can get there. If you go to this link, again, you can't click on this. It's not clickable if you're watching the video, or if you're watching this the recording. You can click on the side, but you can go to this link, tradesmartforex.com with the number 4/promo will take you to the same offer. Now, let me take you through how to get hold of it. It's very simple. Okay, so you basically come to this page over here, and you click on buy now, and it brings you to the checkout. Okay, now I want to point your attention to this, very important. It says here price, you can see it says monthly $497. Again, that's after the first month, and you can cancel anytime, even immediately if you want, so you won't ever be charged again. Okay, today you only pay $397. You get access to everything. You get access to how to read the trend, plus the trading room, plus the trading community in Discord for a whole month. And that also includes our weekly preparation session, which you come live. If you miss the live trading room sessions, you can come and watch them. You watch the recordings. I have people that just watch the recordings and then use them to help them trade for the rest of the day. So you fill out your details, put your payment details in here, and bingo, you'll get sent an email with your login credentials and be able to enter the membership site, which looks like this. And again, when you click on, if you see a padlock here, it means you don't have access. You just get access, put your login credentials in, and you get access. So everything to do with education and training is over here. The trading room's over here. Now I'll show you what it looks like in education and training. Now you'll get only access to how to read the trend to start with. Yeah, that's session 1 of how to read the market professionally. It's a standalone session about teaching you how to do the trend, how to read the trend. Again, it works by itself, but it's also part of a bigger training. The trading room is over here. We have a live trading room. This is links to get into the live room. We also have the daily session recording, so you'll see today's recording. Again, you go and watch it. If you join now, you can watch it immediately. Plus our weekly preparation sessions over here, where you can watch, if you click on it, this is a standalone subscription, but you get this as part of the trading room, where you can watch the weekly preparation session that we do at the beginning of the week, where we set up our zones and come up with a game plan for the week, and you can watch the previous one. So you can go and watch this and go and see how the market played out. Watch this at the beginning of the week, what we say, the levels we draw, and go and see what the market does. Okay, if it works for you, great, you're onto something. And then start learning how to do this yourself. Okay, that's the key. I don't want to train people to be relying on me. I want people to be independent traders. They can rely on themselves and get to that level of producing consistent profits in the market. Okay, so that's basically what you get access to. So if you join now, how to read the trend again, it's $397. 1 month in the live trading is usually $497. That's a total of $894. Again, today you pay $397. This is the link to go to, and if this is for you, go for it. Your risk is $397. This has the potential to change your trading life. Well, I can say that with confidence because it's helped change the lives of many people before you that have done this training and joined our trading community, and now are living the lives that they want, are achieving the success that they want in their trading, and for whatever reasons why they want to achieve success as a trader. It's giving them freedom, giving them money, whatever it is for you. Okay? If whatever you've done up to now is not working, try this. I wouldn't even say try this. Do this and make it work for you. This works. It's a way of reading the market. You can develop a trading from this. You can develop your own trading style that fits you. And again, I'm going to emphasize, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not for anyone. If you're looking for the quick get-rich-quick scheme, this is not it. If you're looking to become a professional trader and do it in a steady way, follow a system that works, that's been proven over time. Again, I've been teaching this for over 10 years now. Then this is the training for you. Start now. and take your trading to the next levels. Okay, so I want to take this opportunity to thank each of you for spending, and I was in a car accident. Well, I was walking, I was a pedestrian, I got knocked over by a car yesterday on the way back I just went to the local supermarket, and I walked across over the road and a car wasn't looking where they were going and they knocked me over. And, it was, one of those moments in life that can really change in a second. And we've all gone through those parts in life, but I feel so grateful that my leg or whatever the car ran over, and my foot is not broken. It's swollen and everything, but it's not broken. I'm still here, and it gives me kind of a real sense of how precious time is and how precious, so what you want to achieve in life, make those decisions now. Do it now, not tomorrow. If you're excited by this, go for it. Go through the training. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity again to thank each of you for spending your time here. If you watched the replay, I hope you got value from this. Even if you don't take the training, the key is to give you something to think about that will, ponder, think about, and say, maybe it's a good idea if I start learning how to read a market. And maybe I should learn how to read a trend. Okay, I have a YouTube channel you can join. So again, you can just write this link down yourself. There's nothing to click on here, but you just type this into a browser and you'll take me to my YouTube channel. You can also get that from my website as well. And again, this is a link to the offer. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Hope you got great value out of it. And I look forward to helping you on your trading journey and helping you get to the next level. So thanks a lot everyone, and we'll see you on the inside.